Hi Gemini, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. A gathering, a celebration, something coming together. For some of you, you may be hosting something or going to an event that is being hosted. May also feel like you're reaching a goal that you had been working towards. This may be the effort of multiple people supporting one another. I'm seeing it kind of be the notion of like getting everybody to work, getting everybody to work together, excuse me. Although tensions may rise high at times, like maybe it's more difficult even to get everybody on the same page, because I'm seeing there may be a tendency for people to get into arguments or whatnot, but it seems like kind of a band or a team of people, even like some type of community or system. And it seems like you may have had the opportunity to engage in something that would have like led to an argument, or maybe tensions rose high. And there's a sense of like not taking the bait in that way. This could have been someone even poking at you a bit, and like you could have engaged, but you know not to. It's kind of what this feels like. For some of you, this could have happened at work. It also could have happened at home with the King of Pentacles. It feels like a decision that you're making in relation to how you want to be interacting with someone. Because it kind of seems like you could kind of step up and meet somebody in the same way that they're approaching you, like in a similar way, maybe even. Or you could kind of relax this situation, is what this seems like. It's like if you step up and you're ready to have an argument with someone, I'm seeing that that can absolutely happen. But there's a sense of like possibly stepping away from this and possibly like not giving somebody a reaction. And to find support with the people that support you, rather than expecting it from maybe somebody that isn't trying to support you. Yeah. Because what I'm seeing is I'm seeing you have a very clear goal of what it is that you want, of what it is that you're working towards. And there's this sense of like this taking a lot of patience, this being an intuitive process, especially when it comes to like more difficult ways to do things and easier way to do things. Because I'm seeing like it seems like the conflicts that you're facing come from people that like have a lot of passion or may very much disagree with what it is that you're doing. It's like things along those lines. However, I'm seeing that you know how to kind of work with people in the ways that you need to allow things to resolve themselves. But it is something that takes a lot of like patience and finesse on your end of things. Because it might be in your nature, like if somebody says something to you, to kind of quit back towards them. So this may be a learning process when it comes to that. It's like you don't always have to say something. Because it's not like you can't get the best of someone, Gemini. We all know that if you need to have a talk with somebody, you're going to be able to find the words that you need. But this is about being like, is this actually worth it to me? Do I want to be doing that? Because it's like, you may be able to win an argument, but then what happens next? Where are you? And I'm seeing you be like, you know, it's not even worth it to me. And I'm seeing you move away from something. Yeah, this could have been a very tempting situation for you. to get into it with someone. But I'm seeing you just be like, and maybe this is something that's even happened in the past. You're like, before maybe would have engaged with this person, but now you're at a point where you're like, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm not even going to get what I want from this, so why even engage in the first place in this? So that's what I'm seeing here. Because there's a lack of resolution if you go down the avenue of like continuously engaging with someone where there's tension. And because you're kind of walking away from this, there's a sense of you actually finding that balance and that harmony that you wanted. So that kind of seems like the more satisfying choice that's being made. For some of you, this can be with a partner, too. It kind of feels like the aim of the dynamic of your relationship is kind of changing as well. Because maybe too, before you could have enjoyed like the intensity of maybe like going back and forth, and now there's more of a sense of being like, I want things to feel more stable. And that kind of creates a change for you, and maybe the actions that you're taking as well. Yeah, I'm hearing long time. I'm seeing somebody that you have history with here. I want to know why this is coming out in this way. Hold on, we're gonna get a little bit further. Okay. So, I'm seeing you very connected. I'm seeing you like on a very high level when it comes to your intuition, and like really making progress in that regard. It's like really connecting with yourself, really connecting with sources that are keeping you elevated. Feels very much like the epitome of just being in touch, being connected. Finding stability in your patience and your endurance in working through things, especially when things feel out of balance. There's a working things out until they get to that balanced place of centeredness, and really holding on to your faith and your hopes here as well, and the vision of what it is that you're working towards. I'm seeing something, I'm getting the word animosity, some type of like chaos or drama or conflict, something like that you're moving away from. Thinking about moving away from. It seems more so like you're prioritizing yourself, your healing. And maybe you feel like now it's time to, you know, sometimes when we go through big changes, and this is what I'm feeling for this reading, we start off by like sometimes downsizing. Interesting. That's intuitively what I'm getting. Sometimes we downsize. There's a process of letting go of things that we don't need to hold on to anymore, and like prioritizing the things that are important to us. And there are things that shift, there are things that change. There are relationships that the dynamic may change, some things we walk away from, some things we don't want to be involved in anymore, habits, things like that. And it feels like you're heading towards this space where maybe you feel like you're surrendering something bigger to you. I'm seeing it be like this. In the beginning of your process of getting connected with like yourself and your spirituality, whatever you deem that as, you may have been asked to surrender more small things, and now it feels like you're getting to a place where there's something bigger that you feel is necessary for you to like either give up or change in some sort of way. Because it seems like you're very immersed in this process right now. And so this is going to have a bigger impact on you. For some of you, there may be a significant relationship even that you're moving on from, or at least changing the dynamic where you feel like things can be peaceful. And this can be stuff going on at work. This can be in the family structure. It's like any type of interpersonal relationship that this applies to. I'm seeing a big change that's going to be happening. For some of you, there's an instance of being like, you know what, things are not feeling great at work. I may be switching a role that I'm playing. You may be going through some sort of transition when it comes to a job. For some of you, this can be related to how you're interacting with your family. It seems too like where you are, there's a sense of playing a role and doing so in a way that was different than you had been before. And I'm seeing that it's because you're really intertwining your higher understanding, your higher knowing, your intuition into this. And so it's kind of going to change the outlook that you have when it comes even to your identity. Because there's a sense of even seeing yourself and your responsibilities different. Like, even from a more zoomed out perspective. And it kind of feels like the decision that's related to this past is about what you are going to hold on to in relation even to identities and what you associate with. This came through in one of my other readings recently. There's a notion of like the more authentically we are living, the more within each moment we are meeting ourselves as if we are a new person and being like, well, who am I right now? And what do I identify with? And what do I no longer identify with? So it's like, even though yesterday you may have been willing to do something, today in the new identity that you're in, that may not be something that you want to be doing. So it's all a choice of being like, yeah, maybe I did that yesterday, but do I identify with that today? Does this resonate with me today? And not allowing your past to hold you back from becoming who you're becoming. So that's kind of what this looks like to me. It's like, how much are we going to allow like old stigmas or old identities or even like people around us to keep us in a place that we may have grown out of? And this is something that you may be recognizing in yourself. You may be prioritizing consistency over like honesty and authenticity at times. And then when you check yourself, you're like, you know what, maybe I used to do this, but I actually don't want to be doing that anymore. Or I want to change this, or that doesn't resonate with me. And it's all about taking it a moment at a time, but allowing yourself the chance and the opportunity to experience and to explore. And not be holding yourself back just because you had been familiar doing something or created a habit doing something. So yeah. Feels like a very, very big overall shift that's happening, and mostly internally. Although I'm seeing that it is going to be affecting things externally, and that it has been for you. So I'm looking at Sagittarius, Scorpio, Aquarius, the moon. All right, my friends, we're going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.